For over 400 years, millions of men, women, and children were forced from their homes, stripped of their freedom, and transported across oceans and deserts. Their suffering shaped the modern world, yet for generations, their stories were silenced. This is the history the UNESCO Slave Route Project was created to confront. Launched in 1994, the Slave Route Project is a global initiative led by UNESCO to uncover the truth about slavery and the slave trade in all its forms. Its mission is simple, yet profound: to break the silence, restore memory, and promote dialogue and reconciliation. Slavery was not confined to one continent or one people. It was a global system stretching across Africa, the Americas, the Caribbean, Europe, the Indian Ocean, and the Arab world. The Slave Route Project maps these vast networks of human exploitation, revealing how deeply slavery is woven into global history. From the transatlantic trade that forcibly moved millions of Africans to the Americas to the trans-Saharan and Indian Ocean routes, the project traces the paths of suffering and profit that connected continents. It highlights how the wealth generated by enslaved labor fueled industrial revolutions and built empires, embedding inequality into the very fabric of our modern economic and social structures. Understanding these connections is crucial to grasping the full scale of this tragedy. Central to the project is the preservation of sites of memory, places where history still speaks. On Gorée Island in Senegal, enslaved Africans waited behind stone walls before being shipped across the Atlantic. At Elmina Castle in Ghana, dungeons stand as silent witnesses to unimaginable suffering. In Ouidah, Benin, the door of no return marks the final step many took before exile and bondage. These places are not only reminders of pain, they are spaces for reflection, education, and remembrance. By designating them as part of the slave route, UNESCO helps protect these invaluable historical sites from decay and neglect, ensuring that future generations can bear witness to the past. These sites serve as powerful classrooms, offering a tangible connection to the stories of those who were enslaved and transforming abstract history into a visceral human experience. But the Slave Route Project is not only about suffering, it is also about resistance and resilience. Despite brutal conditions, enslaved people preserved their humanity through music, language, religion, and art. They resisted in countless ways, from organized revolts and escapes to subtle acts of cultural defiance. From spirituals and drumming to cuisine and belief systems, African heritage survived and transformed the cultures of the world. Think of the rhythms of jazz and blues, the flavors of Creole and Caribbean food, or the spiritual practices of candomblé and voodoo. These are all living legacies of the resilience of enslaved peoples. The project celebrates these contributions, recognizing them as powerful testaments to the enduring strength of the human spirit in the face of oppression. It reframes the narrative from one of passive victimhood to one of active agency and cultural creation. Education is at the heart of the project. UNESCO works with researchers, teachers, and institutions to ensure the history of slavery is taught accurately and responsibly. This involves developing educational materials, training teachers, and supporting research that challenges long-held stereotypes and omissions. By integrating this history into school curricula, the project challenges ignorance and confronts myths that still fuel racism today. It provides tools for young people to understand how historical injustices have shaped contemporary inequalities. This educational mission is vital because silence and misinformation have allowed prejudice to persist for centuries. By teaching the full, unvarnished truth, the project empowers new generations to become agents of change and to build societies based on mutual respect and understanding. The legacy of slavery did not end with abolition. Its consequences, inequality, and discrimination remained visible in societies across the globe. From systemic disparities in wealth and health to the persistence of racial prejudice, the aftershocks of slavery continued to reverberate. The Slave Route Project encourages honest dialogue about these realities, linking past injustices to present struggles. It creates platforms for communities to discuss how this history affects them today, and to explore paths toward healing and justice. In doing so, it recognizes slavery as a crime against humanity, a truth essential for building a more equitable world. This dialogue is not always comfortable. but it is necessary for genuine reconciliation and for dismantling the structures of inequality that slavery left behind. Remembering slavery is not about reopening wounds. It is about acknowledging truth, honoring those who suffered, and learning from history to build a more just future. It's about recognizing the humanity of every person who was dehumanized and celebrating the incredible cultural richness that emerged from their struggle through memory, education, and dialogue. The UNESCO Slave Root Project ensures that the voices once silenced are finally heard. This work calls on all of us to listen, to learn, and to act. Thank you for watching. If you found this video meaningful, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories that need to be told.